Hello everyone, and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show where I try to help you spend your wine dollars wisely. How do I do that? I taste the wines in front of you, I analyze them, I grade them, and then you decide for yourself whether that sounds like a wine that you would like to spend your money on. We're going to do 3 red blends today, and I just picked 3, all from Cowley, all under $15. I thought that'd be kind of fun. They should be readily available. They're very mainline wines, and one of them actually would be a nice Thanksgiving wine. Thanksgiving's coming up. I'm not going to focus on that too early because I know. In fact, I have a question for you, and you can make a comment if you want on below. You need to subscribe. Please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. It's easy. It's painless. And you will see when my videos come out, decide if you want to watch them or not, but, you know, subscribe. It's easy. I subscribe to quite a few channels on YouTube, things I want to see, and it's nice to see when those are actually coming up. And you just hit my channel on your YouTube, and it'll show you who you're subscribing to. Interesting thing about these 3 bottles of wine that I'm going to review is only one of them tells you what's inside of it. And if you don't know by now that that's my pet peeve, then you haven't been watching very many of my programs, or you haven't come to the store and talked to me. I just wish they would put something on the back of the label to tell you what's in it. You know, especially you go do something like Thanksgiving where you want to avoid tannic wines. You need to know if there's cab in it. The first one we're going to do is 2012 Stephen Vincent Crimson Monterey County Red. $13. Here's the label. They've revamped their label big time. You guys might have remembered when it was a white label with just black lettering on it. They've changed it a lot, which is always scary because sometimes you can lose the person. This is, and it doesn't say on the back, I had to look it up, 60% Syrah, 25% Petite Syrah, and 15% Cab. Now, that blend is nice, but not one that necessarily would lend itself towards Thanksgiving. Now, Christmas would be another thing if you're doing a prime rib, but not for turkey. Let's see what we get on the nose. A little vanilla action going on, a little root beer. If you see it getting light and dark, the wind's blowing outside. It's kind of a cool day. It's getting sunny, and then the cloud cover and sunny. Really kind of one of those great winter or fall days. I'm getting a little plum and cherries on the nose. A little chocolate action. So this is a very good nose. I like the aromatics on this wine. Let's see what we get on the palate. Very soft and smooth. This is like one of those, like, you could just drink this by itself. You could sit down and watch your favorite TV show and just enjoy this wine. I get plum. I get black and red plum on it. Get a little boysenberry action, a little bit of cherry. The vanilla comes through on the finish. Good balance, nice flow across the palate. Has some things going on, there's some stuff going on with this wine. The red fruits really come through, like red cherries really come out big time on the finish. Good acidity. It's definitely could match up with food. Actually I would think about this with ham for sure. This might be able to go with some of the savory elements of Thanksgiving. There's not strong tannins on this wine, so the composition that I read didn't lend itself towards that. But I'm kind of a Syrah guy sometimes with Thanksgiving. I think the smokiness, especially if you do a smoked turkey, it goes well. I'm going to go. It's a little grit from the cab on the back end. I'm going to go C plus on this. It's definitely above average. $13. You know, to me it's more like a $8 to $10 bottle of wine. But, you know, it's still got enough going on that I would put it above average, C plus, maybe hedging towards B minus. Let's move on to the next one. This is another one that didn't put the composition or what they have in it. I don't care about percentages really. I just want to know what is in the wine. You know, and usually they list them in the order. Like if you read on the website, it'll say, well, Zin, this. The first one they mention is usually, in most cases, you know, the majority of the grape. This one is 37% Syrah, 36% Zin, 14% Merlot, 10% Petite Syrah, and yes, folks, that adds up to 97%. So they have 3% of something else in there, or they got their composition messed up a little bit. That's okay. It's not like I've never made a mistake before. So this has a lot of Zin in it. Zin is a very good turkey wine because of the juiciness of the Zin. Juicy kind of fruitiness goes with the savory elements of that meal. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit because I know, did I ask a question? I started to ask a question. How far in advance do you think about which wines you're going to have with Thanksgiving? Do you think about it the day before? Do you think about it the week before? Do you start going through some of your wines in your house now thinking, okay, what do I have here that I can have with Thanksgiving? A lot of people don't like to think about it. I threw out a tweet, I think about 2 weeks ago, asking some of the guys I follow in the wine world what they prefer with turkey, and a couple of them said, this is way too soon. You know, they're writers, you know, they don't want to start thinking about writing their article, I guess. Milestone Red Blend, I read the blend, 2012. This rolls in at $10. Always like to find a good wine at 10 bucks. Doesn't that always make you happy when you can find those? There's the label, pretty cool. All right, let's see what we get on the nose. Kind of interesting. There's definitely black licorice. It's almost like a perfumed soap. You know how you get those little colorful soaps? It has that kind of perfumed element to it. Blackberries, for sure. There's some currants in there. It's a little dusty. I get a little dusty element coming through. A little black olive. Interesting nose. Let's see what we get on the palate. I can't do this on the bar. I don't want to put a cover on the bar, so I'm trying to exercise my skills in swirling in the air. Almost like, I want to say there's like a caramel corn sort of thing going on. Yeah, I'm definitely getting caramel corn on that. Very interesting. Let's see what we get on the palate. Wow, the Zinfandel really pops on this one. You get that big boysenberry kind of black currant thing right on the mid palate. I get some chocolate on the finish, which I know a lot of you are going to like. This is sort of apothic red, sort of a red blend, which is nothing wrong with that. Trust me, I like having apothic red on my shelf. We sell a lot of it. I understand why people drink it because of the juiciness of it. This would be a great turkey wine. If you're having a lot of people over, it's only 10 bucks, right? So you're not spending a lot of money. You know, you could buy 4 bottles, 40 bucks, not a huge bash to your budget. This is a pot, pour, and enjoy wine. It's got good weight. It's got nice juiciness. It's not over the top. I'm not going to call this a goopy fruit bomb by any chance, but it's got good, like black cherries, black currants. It's got sweet tannins for sure. Nice flow across the palate. There's nothing funky about it. I don't get a lot of fakiness out of this. I think it's a good bottle of wine. I'm going to go B- on this one for the price, for what you're getting, for the interesting factors in this wine. That chocolate cherry thing just kind of lingers on the back end. No caramel corn on the palate. You're probably going, thank God for that, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's a good wine. I mean, it's not going to be for everybody. For you guys that kind of want a little bit more serious wine, or for those of you who don't like Zinfandel, you know, you might want to avoid this. But I like it. I think it's a good play for Thanksgiving. It's a good price point, $10. You can't beat that. For the price, it's great. And I like the fact that it's not funky. I mean, the finish is a little thin, but you know what? It's a good bottle of wine. I'm going B- on that one. Let's move on to the next one. This is sort of an iconic red blend. It's been around a long time. They've revamped the label. It's from St. Francis Winery. St. Francis is great for Zinfandel. So, you get the Red Splash 2011. St. Francis Winery. California is the appellation. This rolls in anywhere from between $12 and $13, depending on what store you go to. We sell it at our store for $12.49. There you go. Okay, now this does say something on the back. It says it is a blend of Merlot, Petit Syrah, Syrah, and Zinfandel. Now, if they follow the rules of labeling, it would be it's mostly Merlot, then Petit Syrah, Syrah, and Zinfandel. Let's see what we get on the nose. I'm really impressed with this Milestone. I am. I like that one. This has a little like stemminess, Parazine, you know, branchy. Get a little bit of a lettuce and green bell pepper. There's definitely currants on the backside. Now that sort of greenness might come from the Merlot, possibly. Definitely on the dark fruit side. Get a little bark and tobacco, which is, you know, pretty interesting. You know, this is a $12 to $13 bottle of wine with all those qualities. Of course, when you're sort of a wine geek, as you guys know, I love smelling the wine. I think that's a key element in enjoying your wine. For those of you who haven't really got into it, you know, just kind of practice it. It really enhances your wine tasting experience because you're actually looking, you're thinking about what, and you don't have to get all these aromas. I mean, seriously. Now, sometimes we get over the top on that, but you know, but you might be able to start identifying blackberry or cherry or currant. You might start seeing the commonality in certain wines. And it just kind of enhances that whole experience. I encourage it. I mean, smell the wine. You know, check it out. I'm gonna have a little party. My birthday's coming up next week. Having some friends over. I think I mentioned it before. And you know, when we taste through some of the wines that I pulled out of my cellar, we are definitely going to smell it. I'm going to make everybody smell those wines and really see what's in them. See how many of us can come up with some common denominators in the aroma profile. Getting a little root beer on this one, which is interesting. Let's see what we get on the palate. Blackberries, currants all day. A little licorice. The tobacco elements kind of are in the backside, not a huge amount, just a little bit through there. This is another one of those juicy wines. A lot of fruit in this wine. Really smooth tannins. Get just a little bit of a grip on the backside. A little like minerality coming through on the back end, which I like. I think again this would be a good wine with savory food, that kind of sweet and savory sort of thing going together. This one also has sweeter tannins to it. Good solid structure. I'm going to go B on this one. I think it's a well-made wine. I think it has a little bit more going on than the Milestone, and a lot more going on than the Stephen Vincent Crimson. I like that wine. So there you go, 3 wines under $15. Easy to find. You should be able to find these. If not, ask your store guy who's ordering the wine, can you get your hands on some of these? These are good wines for the money. Thanks for watching. Cheers. And here's to keep the snob out of wine. And before I forget, comment. Make a comment. How far ahead do you think of your wine for holiday meals? Whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, do you really plan it or do you just do it the day before? Where do you stand on that? Thanks for watching. Cheers.